hospital again. I've been having pain in my lower left side on day 3 or 4 of my period for the past 2 months. Today it was really, really bad. It just came out of nowhere, and I tried taking some Tylenol. Didn't really help. So here I am. I'm hoping it's not kidney stones or something worse. So that was incredibly humiliating. So basically, the doctor told me that he thinks that, well, he knows because he looked at the results, that I'm constipated. He thinks that it's cycle related, and that's the reason why it continues to keep happening every single month around the 3rd to 4th day of my period. If it's noticeable to the point where if I see it happening, I'm gonna take these off, at a certain point, then that's probably generally what it is. I'm not happy about it because, I don't know, I just got this like strange feeling. I'm like, I don't know, that sounds a little... Found something out about myself that I don't quite like, and it's something that has been really, really, really getting on my nerves, and it kind of just hit me yesterday. I am tired of waking up every day in a really, really bad mood for 0 reasons, like nothing will be happening. And I finally realized that only in the morning, from between the hours of 8 o'clock in the morning to about 12:30, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, my mind is all over the place. And I've noticed most of my problems, my arguments with my husband or my kids or life in general, it's always happened in between those hours. And I have just come to the conclusion that I struggle in the morning and I have a lot of anxiety. I'll start to get overstimulated automatically just by that one simple thing. I take that because I'm overstimulated and I start to bring that out into my whole entire day as soon as I step out of my bedroom door. If I see something wrong in the house, like say we currently right now, we do not have a dishwasher. We're trying really hard to save up to get one, but they're expensive and you know how life is right now. We're trying really hard to get one, but right now we don't have one. And because we don't have one, we have to hand wash all of our dishes. Now, most nights after we have dinner and stuff, we don't really feel like scrubbing and busting out the suds and doing the stuff. So this is my fault. I will wake up in the morning and I instantly take this red zone, I call it the red zone, and I will instantly take my anger out on the rest of the family because I, instead of doing what I wanted to do the night before, and I should have did the night before, and taking accountability for that, I don't. I take it out on the rest of my family. I have an issue with rushing, like trying to hurry up and get things completed. I'm talking everything when it comes to myself, when it comes to my beauty, when it comes to my house, when it comes to the chores of the house, when it comes to errands, when it comes to anything. Everything with me is an emergency. It's always like, that's not good all the time. Now, I'm not gonna say that sometimes it is good to push through. Sometimes it is, but not all the time. I don't want to do that anymore, you know? So this summer, I am towards the end of the summer now, learning and trying to learn how to regulate my own emotions, because I'm saying this to my kids all the time and I don't do it to myself. what's up with that? Your emotions matter. Your feelings, your nervous system, your mindset, all of it matters. You don't need to push through every single day. You don't need to get over it. Not every day. We don't need to do that. So, guys, every time I go to make a segment on my channel or my video, my neighbors across the street come outside. And it's so quiet in my neighborhood, like I said. Anyways, I want to talk about something that I was forced to do this. So last week, as y'all could see in the beginning of this video, I was diagnosed with a minor case of kidney stones, as well as he tried saying that I was constipated. I don't know what he's talking about. Anyways, so the doctor told me that I needed to uptake water. He said that I need to, basically I was dehydrated, and I needed to start drinking water a lot more. So I ended up purchasing this from Target back in June. I was actually going to be using this for work because they made a big deal about water bottles at my job. It was really stupid. Put my hair down because I don't like my hair up. It looks like crap. Anyways, they made a big deal about water bottles, and so they were like, you have to have a lid for your water. So I bought this from Target. I paid a pretty penny for this. I was pretty ticked off. These are expensive. These are not cheap. Tumblers or water bottles, they're not cheap. So I've been drinking this every single day. I'm supposed to drink 96 ounces of water a day. This is a 30 ounce. I'm supposed to be technically drinking 3 of these a day. I didn't realize how hard it is to drink water throughout the day. Like, it's difficult. I am an avid coffee drinker. I absolutely love coffee, and I am also addicted to cherry Pepsi or Pepsi in general. I am a huge Pepsi drinker. And I've been like this pretty much for the past 10 years. So for me, it's just really hard for me to drink 96 ounces of water a day and to drink 3 of these without having any kind of like carbonation or anything like that. But I've been doing it. So I've been drinking that since last Friday. I think it was last Thursday or Friday when I ended up going to the hospital and I was diagnosed. I'm supposed to be doing this for at least a week. So this upcoming Friday will be 1 week of me drinking water. I'm going to try to do it all the way until Sunday. The one thing that I've noticed by doing this water binge, or whatever you want to call it, is I have had no more headaches. I don't have headaches at all. My indigestion, heartburn, acid reflux, all that crap is just like very minimal. I don't really have it that much anymore. I'm pretty sure I'm not constipated anymore. Let's just I don't want to go, TMI, but I was going to the bathroom probably every 5 to 10 minutes. I literally could not stay off my toilet. I thank God I'm home for this, because when you're drinking a lot of water throughout the day, especially the first couple of days, your bladder is new to it. You are going to the toilet. As the days started to pass and my body, I guess, was just starting to kind of get used to me drinking water, I wasn't going to the bathroom as much. I was going, normally. But I will say this, my skin has been a lot clearer. I had a bunch of acne down here. That's a scar. I had a crap ton of acne on my chin. It's gone. That's a scar. It's all gone. No more acne. It's completely gone. Really bad heart palpitations there for a while during my cycles. And right now in the cycle that I'm in my ovulatory cycle. I would have really, 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 really bad anxiety, heart palpitations, dizzy spells. I was going to the bathroom a lot. I was going pee a lot, which is, for me, it's kind of normal because I do have a tilted uterus, but it was getting to a point where it just wasn't making any sense. And it was just like constant. I wasn't, back then, before I got diagnosed, I wasn't really drinking anything throughout the day. It's this cute, like, dog across the street. He's just kind of like laying on the ground looking up at the sun. He's like, I noticed that my ovulatory phase this month has been a-okay. It hasn't been perfect. I will say that. It has not been perfect. I noticed that I'm a lot more clear-headed. I can think a lot more better. I'm not as foggy as I used to be. I would just be kind of like, yesterday when I was editing my video, I realized that the past couple of months, there is something that has happened in my household that I haven't talked about. Where's Wendy? If you hear any noises in the background of cats meowing, that would be her son, Duke. But I wanted to shed a little light on this just because I loved her and I want to give her that respect. So I'm going to talk about Wendy. If you don't know who I'm talking about and you're like, who the heck is Wendy? Wendy was the mother cat to my cat, Duke. In February of this year, she gave birth to 3 kittens. She gave birth to Duke and 2 other ones. There was 2 black Bombays and there was Duke, and he's a blue Russian just like his mother. In February of this year, like I said, she gave birth, and after Wendy had given birth, Wendy's health had dramatically declined. Wendy was very, 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 very sick. Wendy didn't respond well to her pregnancy. I guess I should give like a little backstory to Wendy. I got Wendy in September of 2025. I ended up getting her from a family that was probably like a half an hour away from me. I didn't know anything really about Wendy except her age that the lady had stated to me, and her kind of like her backstory. Wendy had come from a feral mother. Her and her brother basically just survived and made do. Wendy took the brunt of a lot of the neglect. Wendy was eating out of trash cans. She was eating out of, she was eating things when she was very, very young that she should have not been eating at all. Wendy wasn't really taken care of by the previous owners. They basically just kind of like rehabbed her to the point where she was able to be around people, but not really. Her brother, on the other hand, had taken better to certain things than she had. Wendy had a lot of psychological issues from being feral with her mom, and Wendy never really let go of it. She still was really, really scared of people. She was also very vocal. If you go back and you look at my old YouTube videos, Wendy was a talker. She ended up getting adopted to a family that was before us, before we had taken her in 2026, or 2025. And when we went to go pick her up for us to adopt her, the lady said that the people ended up returning her because of how vocal she was and that she was annoying, as they stated to her. They thought that that's Duke, that's her son. My hair is driving me nuts. This is her son. He is my precious baby.
He actually smells like dust.
Anyways, they ended up returning her, and they said that she, like I said, they said she was annoying. Because of this back and forth, she didn't really know who she belonged to. She didn't really know who she belonged to, and she didn't really have good socialization skills. When Wendy first met me, she instantly bonded to me. She was like, girl, you're my best friend. I was like, girl, we're besties. We were best friends. Me and Wendy were like always together all the time. She was always in my room. She was always hanging out. She just loved being with me. I was her new mom. We ended up having another cat. His name was Luke, which is Duke's dad. He was a black Bombay. He was an indoor-outdoor cat. I had made that decision because Luke was very smart. We didn't really live in an area where he could go very far. We lived in a very small community. We lived in the city at that time. Luke was very good with Wendy. They both got along very well. Wendy loved Luke, and they were just kind of bonded together. As Wendy got older and time started to pass, I was keeping track of her months, of how old she was. At the time, the lady had told me that Wendy was only 3.5 months old. When I got her, she didn't look 3.5 months old. She looked like she was already about 5 to 6 months old. I was kind of frustrated about that, but again, I tried to put my trust into this lady, and I believed her. Around Christmas of 2025, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, just out of nowhere, we were sitting in the living room. It was a regular night. Luke was about ready to head outside. That's not Luke, that's Duke. Luke was about ready to head outside like he usually does at nighttime. He was at the front door, meowing to us to let him out. And Wendy went straight into heat. You've had cats, you know exactly what female cats do when they go into heat. It's the very first sign that you can tell when a female cat is in heat. They crouch down, get low, they get in a certain position, they start shaking their booty. They do this weird meow, and you just know. This girl, it was out of nowhere. She literally was not showing me any signs that she was in heat. And with her age, I didn't expect that to happen with her. Yes, not for a while. He's just sitting there staring at me. He's like, who are you talking to? I didn't expect this to happen with her. By the time I had got up to pick up Wendy, she had already cruised over to the front door, got in front of Luke. It was too late. After that point, he chased her upstairs, and I'm not getting between that. Me and my husband didn't feel it was safe because you don't want to do that. You don't want to get between a male and a female that they're trying to, do the dance, because you can get hurt really, really bad. The other two that she also gave birth to did not survive. The reason why they did not survive is because Wendy, psychologically, was not aware of what was happening to her, and she didn't understand that she was in labor. She thought something else apparently was happening to her. And because of this, she ended up holding back the labor for so long. She held back the labor for 2 days. She was bleeding nonstop, but she would not give birth. I ended up calling multiple vets, hospitals, everybody, and they all said the same thing, that female cats have the ability to shut their labor off. They can hold the labor. Both the babies died in the canal. They came out stillborns. This one, I call him Lucky Charm because he came out just in time. He slid out behind the one that was dead already, and he got out quicker. That's why he survived. After Wendy had given birth in February, Wendy still wasn't understanding that she was a mother. Wendy was really struggling with taking care of him. I had to basically force her to be a mom. I had to really get her to understand what he was. Wendy wasn't very warm when it came to being a mother. She was pretty cold towards Duke. She was very young. She was only 9.5 to 10 months old when she gave birth. At least that's what I think of how old she was at that time. Her relationship with Duke was very strained. It was very weird. It was very off. She was not interested in him. She continued to make him try to be feral. She would hide him under beds. She would try to get him to be mean towards other people, but he never did it because he wasn't interested. He knew who we were. Wendy started to more and more lose her mind. She started to get very aggressive towards us. She was hissing at us. She was biting, scratching. She attacked my daughter. She attacked my husband. Then her physical health started to decline. She started puking every day. They've taken her to the vet to get her checked out. They said that there was a high possibility that she had feline leukemia or FIV or both. That she was very, very ill and that they wanted to run a bunch of tests on her, but in the long run, there was a high chance that she was going to be euthanized. She also had a very, very contagious disease that would have, I don't know where he just went. Where'd he go? What are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? Contagious disease that would have made this one sick and would have gave him the same problems that she had. And since he was so young at the time, he was only about 3 months old, maybe 2.5 months old, he would have died. I wasn't having that. There was no way I was allowing that to happen because that's not fair to him. He was very young. She had already, it was a very unfortunate situation. It was a very hard situation to be in. I had to make a very, very difficult choice, and I had already just made a difficult choice at the beginning of the year because I had to rehome his dad. Here I was again in the same situation, and now I had to rehome his mom. I had to rehome her because of the fact that there was too many odds that were against this one, and I couldn't deal financially with having 2 sick cats. After Wendy was rehomed, I automatically took him to the vet to get him checked. I ran blood work on him, everything that they could possibly do to check to see if it was already too late, was he already sick? And thank God through the heavens, he is not sick. He does not have anything that she had. Duke will be 6 months old next Thursday or Friday on the 24th. He'll be 6 months. He is about to get neutered here pretty soon. So far, Duke does not have any symptoms. They did say there's a possibility that later on in life, Duke could develop leukemia. He could develop symptoms. He could start puking. He could start having the problems that his mom had. But so far, that's the story of my little girl. I feel very sorry for her. I feel like she got cheated out in life. I don't really feel like she got much when it came to anything. She had a very, very sad story. She had a very hard upbringing. And when it came to this little guy, he really didn't get a chance to really get to spend time with his mom. Even when she was physically around him, she really didn't want anything to do with him. His mom was very young, and she was, like I said, she was psychologically off from all the abuse and pain and suffering that she had been through. It's a really sad story. And it's heartbreaking to me as a pet owner, but the thing is that he's healthy and he's going to live to hopefully be very, very old. And I wanted to keep him safe and protect him. So out of all the grief and sadness of Luke and Wendy came this guy. And I make it my mission to keep him healthy and keep him happy and give him a long life. And no, he's not loud like his mom. You don't even know when he's in the room. Think about her all the time. I think about the little things that she used to do. It was a very, very sad situation. But that's the story of Wendy.